Hello, this is Benjamin Sanchez. I'm an attorney in Houston, Texas. I'm coming to you live from my office. I'm starting a brand new video series. Here it's June 1st, 2020, and I want to have a new series in which I can discuss legal topics, substantive legal topics, news of the day, law practice management tips for lawyers, and other things. As a brief introduction, I'm a 22-year attorney. I'm also a columnist for a national magazine. I sit on two different editorial boards of a national magazine and a local magazine. I've also done a lot of pro bono volunteer work, and my main practice areas are consumer law and family law. In the consumer law area, I primarily represent debtors who are sued for debt, represent tenants who are sued for evictions or need some sort of affirmative claim against a landlord. I also represent homeowners in foreclosure actions, in HOA disputes, in property tax disputes, those kind of things. And then I represent consumers in everyday deceptive trade practice claims and fraud claims, such as auto fraud, things like that. I anticipate that most of my videos that I will be doing in this new Coffee with Law series will be in the mornings primarily. However, I can't promise you that each and every day they'll be in the mornings. So for example, this evening it's 7:35, and I wanted to make sure that I got the first video out on June 1st. Nice start to the month. It's a Monday, and I just want to look forward to doing this on a daily basis, at least each weekday. So my goal is that for each weekday morning, I will come on live on these various channels. I'm streaming live right now on YouTube and Facebook and various forums. And the goal is to provide some insight into what's going on in not only my world, but also in the legal world in general, especially here in Texas. Today, I wanted to bring up a topic real quick of evictions. I recently presented a continuing legal education seminar to attorneys and judges regarding evictions in Texas, especially dealing with the COVID issue. Here in Texas, evictions have started up again. There are no longer any Supreme Court orders by the Texas Supreme Court that are stopping evictions at this point. So today, part of what I did is I looked online because all the courts now that are having online hearings as opposed to in-person hearings, by law, because of the open courts provision, they have to stream their proceedings. So that allows me and the public, like you and other attorneys, to look at the court proceedings just to see how the judges are handling them, how attorneys and the public are handling them, as well as the litigants. So today what I saw was a lot of eviction hearings. Most of these hearings that I saw were in the county courts of law here at Harris County. Now, by the time an eviction gets to Harris County courts of law, they've already been appealed. Most of the time what that means is that the tenant has lost the eviction at the Justice of the Peace Court, where all eviction trials start, and they've appealed the case to county court. And now the county courts are starting up the eviction trials again after the hold that the Texas Supreme Court had held on evictions. What I want to say is that if you're facing an eviction, the worst thing you can do is not show up. What I see time and time again, whether it was today on the live streams of various courts or whether it's in person when I go before court, is that time after time after time, landlords get easy victories in evictions because defendants fail to show up. The problem is that even though you as a tenant may think there's no reason for you to show up because you're just going to lose, you may have some defenses, but you will never get the judge to hear your defenses if you don't show up. What kind of defenses can you have in an eviction hearing? Well, for example, if the notice to vacate did not go through correctly, if it wasn't posted correctly, if the lawsuit was filed too quickly, in which you weren't given enough time to move out, or if you were sued even though you did move out during the 3-day or 10-day notice period, and you were sued anyway, you would have a defense to eviction. Okay. In addition, if the landlord can't prove up their case in terms of the amount of rent, or whether they're trying to charge you for extra fees and late charges, which they can't do. So I want to make sure that everybody, let me just turn this down real quick. Sorry about that. So I just want to make sure that you understand that as a tenant, you have certain rights. And I have lots of tenants come to me who don't really know what to do. But I can tell you this, that once they hire me, and quite frankly, any defense attorney, hopefully, that knows what they're doing in landlord-tenant law, what they can do is buy peace of mind, and quite frankly, they can buy some time. So even if you don't have a defense, but you can't move out right away, it's best, if you can, to hire an attorney to get you through to the time that you need to move out. Now, quite frankly, our system is going to be inundated with eviction lawsuits here over the summer due to the 3 months that we had without eviction lawsuits. The issue that we're going to face is that all of the volunteer programs and the legal aid societies are going to be overrun. And quite frankly, they do not have the capacity in terms of attorneys to represent everyone. There is a landlord-tenant clinic, I think in one of the local law schools, but quite frankly, there's going to be so many lawsuits. In addition, a lot of tenants may not qualify for legal aid because maybe they had a downturn in their economic situation, but now they have a job. Maybe they were furloughed, but now they're working again. Maybe they have too many assets to qualify for legal aid. There is this gap between people who qualify for legal aid and people who just have enough money where they're obviously going to pay their rent. And where I come in, and where I see a lot of issues, are those people who are in the middle, who have some money that they can afford to now pay rent, but they're facing a difficult landlord who is rushing through and pushing through an eviction. So I want to end this live broadcast by just asking everyone to at least consult an attorney if you're facing an eviction. You have some defenses, and you don't have to give up just because you're sued for an eviction. We can take some time to look at your particular circumstances and figure out what's going on. And I'm not even talking about hiring me per se. I'm just saying that you do have some defenses, you have some rights, and it behooves you to at least consult with an attorney to figure out what you're doing and what you can do. Again, this is Benjamin Sanchez. I'm with the Sanchez Law Firm. This is the first edition of Coffee with Law. I will be with you tomorrow morning, and we'll talk more about evictions because I think this week we really need to focus on evictions, and I want to talk about specifically the notice to vacate tomorrow. So I hope you all have a good evening, and take care, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.